AS Biology. Welcome. Are you excited for a fun learning session? Make sure you have your book and a pen before we start. Today you are going to learn about ATP. ATP. ATP is the energy store of the cell. It provides energy for metabolism, movement, active transport, repair, division and maintenance of cells, maintaining body temperature, producing substances. Chemical energy from food, or photosynthesis, in the form of organic molecules, glucose in animals, is converted to ATP during respiration. This is because cells can't get the energy directly from the glucose. Each phosphate which is attached to the molecule is less stable, therefore the bond attaching the third phosphate is the easiest to break. When the bond is broken, a small amount of energy is released which the body can use for active transport, movement, or one of the other reasons discussed in the previous slides. ATP, after it has been made, diffuses through the cell until it reaches the part of the cell where energy is needed. The final phosphate is released in a hydrolysis reaction. ATP's three phosphate groups are bonded together with high-energy bonds. ATP is hydrolyzed to break the final bond. This releases a phosphate group and energy. When a phosphate group is removed, ATP becomes ADP. Pi means an inorganic phosphate. The reaction to break down ATP is catalyzed by the enzyme ATPase. When the final phosphate is removed, energy is released. When ATP is made from ADP and a phosphate group and water, and the reaction is catalyzed using ATP synthase. There are three ways in which ATP can be formed from ADP and an inorganic phosphate. 1. Photophosphorylation. This happens in the chloroplasts during photosynthesis. 2. Oxidative photophosphorylation. This occurs in the mitochondria during respiration. 3. Substrate level photophosphorylation. This occurs when phosphate groups are transferred from donor molecules to ADP. When energy is released by converting ATP to ADP, the energy is released in small bursts. Splitting ATP to ADP is one single reaction, whereas breaking down glucose to release energy requires a group of reactions. This makes ATP an immediate energy source. ATP has advantages over glucose. It is an instant source of energy. It releases energy in small amounts is needed. ATP is mobile and can be transported to where the energy is needed inside the cell. It can be used in many chemical reactions. The reactions that require ATP are metabolic processes, movement, active transport, secretion, activation of molecules, bioluminescence. ATP is made from a ribose sugar, adenine and 3 phosphate groups. ATP is hydrolyzes to ADP, a phosphate group and energy, an immediate energy source for cells.